the next Vice President of the United States, Carly Fiorina.
A day after losing to Donald Trump in 5 northeastern states, Ted Cruz named his vice presidential running mate if he becomes the Republican nominee. That's a stretch at this point. Rally in Indianapolis, Cruz introduced former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina, and says she'll continue doing what she has been for weeks, aggressively going after the opposition.
Hillary Clinton has made her millions selling access and influence from inside the system. And Donald Trump has made his billions buying people like Hillary Clinton.
Kind of a double-pronged approach there. Fiorina endorsing Cruz shortly after she dropped out of the race a couple of months ago. Cruz and Carly show one of the headlines today. Dr. Jeff Engel, director of the Center for Presidential History at SMU. And what it did do, if nothing else, is get people talking about Ted Cruz and Carly Fiorina instead of Ted Cruz just lost 5 states on Tuesday.
Exactly. Changed the entire conversation. Now we're talking about Cruz, we're talking about Fiorina, we're talking about why Cruz chose this, what it shows as a potential negative for Trump. Completely changed the conversation. It's a desperation move. I mean, we need not sugarcoat that. Cruz is way behind. Cruz is mathematically eliminated. This is something that is only done by a person who has one last Hail Mary.
But it does attack Donald Trump at his weakest spot, which is among women voters who are very skeptical about Donald Trump.
Yeah, more than half of women voters at this point not only say that they are not choosing to vote for Trump, but that they would never vote for Trump. So bringing in a woman as a running mate and a woman who's a business person as well really hits Trump in 2 different areas of his weakness.
And who ran for the U.S. Senate in California, which is one of the last states to vote.
Yeah, well, and that's the state which he is really going to need. There's a little bit of math still that's fuzzy out there about whether or not Trump can perhaps get the nomination outright if he wins Indiana, but if not, it's going to come down to California, which, as you point out, is Fiorina's home.
Meantime, Donald Trump, in what was billed as a major foreign policy address, did you listen to it? Did you have 10 bullet points you could take away from that major foreign policy address that say, okay, this is what a Trump presidency would look like?
Here's the thing. There are a lot of bullet points to take away. There's actually about 20 or 30 bullet points to take away, but the first 15 contradict the second 15.
Right.
Most of the things that Trump wound up saying were really good bumper sticker phrases. They sound really nice, but they are then directly contradicted by the next phrase. Let me give you an example. He talked about the necessity of commitment. He talked about our dependability. Our allies must depend on us and know that we are true to our word. And then he turned around and talked about the necessity of unpredictability. The allies and our enemies shouldn't know exactly what we're going to do. We need to keep them on edge. These are directly contradictory in the world of foreign policy, where we want people to trust what we say. We want people to know that we're going to do what we say.
Right.
Unpredictability is not a virtue. It's something we see, frankly, from North Korean leaders more than from Western leaders.
And by the same time, saying, for example, we want to be reliable partners, but we may drop out of NATO.
Exactly. And there's a little bit of a mob boss mentality to the way that Trump is formulating his foreign policy. He's really only thinking about it in terms of money or physical power. He's not thinking about the broader system that America has built through a lot of expense and through a lot of energy to bring a lot of peace to the world since 1945. Basically, he's saying to our allies, if you don't pony up, we're walking. That's not the way to make good relations.
And if you really looked at it, was as critical of George W. Bush foreign policy, perhaps more so than he was of Obama foreign policy.
Exactly.
Dr. Jeff Engel, thanks.